Here we go.
So now we're making our way down to the old city.
We've done
Kotel,
this twice.
the western wall.
Okay.
It's a busy part of the old city with a lot of thousands of tourists. And we have to realize is that everything here has a story and it has a history. And we're about to enter a place which all our forefathers, from the first man of creation, Adam and Eve, till Noah and his son Shem, who lived here. Shem, he was the...
Noah's son was here?
Noah's son was here. His name was Melchizedek. He came to greet Abraham from the city of Shem. That's where Yerushalayim gets its name from Shalom, from the name of Shem. Shem was about Shalom. It was Melchizedek, Melech Shalom, it says in the Torah. He was the king of Shalom, of peace. And that's what this city was dedicated to by the son of Shem, the son of Noah, Shem. His name was Melchizedek, the king of peace. Yeah? And that's the first part, how we hear the history of Jerusalem gets its name, Shalom, peace, from Shem. And that was what he was doing. He was using this holy city for offerings.
Hold on, can't hear you.
He was using this holy city for offerings and for bringing the world to a more elevated spiritual level. Even though most of the children of Noah were busy with running after the world, he was busy with building Jerusalem into what it always was from the time of Adam, a holy place where they used to offer, and they had a school here, Shem Ba'eva, and a yeshiva, and it was educating the world about spirituality.
What's the Crusader market? Crusader built this.
Yeah.
Do you know about this?
That's what I'm saying, sorry.
Okay.
So then what happened was that they made eventually 10 generations after, Avraham Avinu was still around at the same time as Shem. They met each other. The famous wars, you look in the Torah. And Avraham gave Jerusalem a different name because eventually Shem passed on Yerushalayim to his descendants. Abraham, Isaac, Yitzchak, and Jacob would come to this place as a holy place for offerings. And the famous story of Abraham and Isaac happened on this holy mountain, like we said, Har Moriah.
This is Har Moriah?
Yeah, Har Moriah is the same place, it's just different names.
Alright, this is where my father was buried.
So
Har Moriah.
Har Moriah is a place of fear. It's of awareness. Fear doesn't mean like trembling, like negatively. It means an awareness of God. And that was the balance between awareness of God and peace. That's the idea of Yerushalayim. The balance between the awareness and the peace that was created by that awareness. Yeah. So this is the specialness of this holy city. These are all ruins around here in Eish Torah. And we see as we're coming close to the temple site, this goes back more than 3,000 years ago. It's history, maybe 3,800 years ago, to be more precise. Around the time of 2000 in the Jewish calendar, or 3,800 BC, approximately, with Abraham and Isaac and Yaakov. They used this place as a place for offerings and prayer. Yaakov, the famous dream with the ladder, and his 12 sons who went off to Mitzrayim, to Egypt, where we're holding now in the Parsha, he always went to this place to daven and to pray and to offer up the animal offerings and see what they were doing, why they were doing what they were doing, how
Give Hashem name of the world.
to make his name great and to advertise and to serve him with using all the different parts of creation that Hashem made this world with, the full parts of creation, the animals and the animal life and the whole natural life. It's all brought up in this central place to centralize the world, to recognize God. So that was what was going on here. Eventually we had to go into Egypt too, and in the meanwhile, Canaanim, the Canaanim took over the place. They took over Eretz Yisrael, and they were ruling here. The Canaanim, they were descendants from Ham, from Noah, and it was only after we came out of Egypt after
the menorah.
Years. Yeah, the famous menorah.
You want to go to the menorah real quick?
Yeah, we can go look.
We have time?
Yeah, for a minute. So
this was the menorah. This is a replica of the menorah.
this is a newly built. The original menorahs were either hidden underneath the temple site, or the Romans captured some things and took it back to Rome, that they have in their famous ark in Rome, the Rome of Titus. But this is a newly built by the Temple Institute. They built different instruments of the temple.
Was recreated for the first time since the destruction of the Second Temple, according to research by them by the Temple Institute. Right. Vadim Binovich. Very nice
so we'll have to wait for the real thing. It'll be much more stunning and it will shine a much bigger light than this is. But it's still beautiful, thank God.
When will the real thing come?
It's very
Messiah?
soon. We're almost here now.
Alright.
So,
you mean very soon in this tour or very soon?
Yeah, we're hoping. Why? Then I don't have to go back home. Everyone will come here. Okay. So the idea is that so we have Abraham and Yaakov and all the way to his descendants. They had to come out of Egypt and make it back to Israel. And Moshe unfortunately didn't make it back here, but Yeshua, his student, did, and Yeshua conquered the land. And it was only after a few hundred years of being in Eretz Israel again did David HaMelech, finally conquer actually Yerushalayim again. So it wasn't even straight away after the Jews came back from out of Mitzrayim. They got the Torah out of Egypt. They came through the sea and got the Torah. It was only after hundreds of years in Israel. And remember, there were 40 years in the desert and hundreds of years with all the different judges ruling Israel until we finally had a king, David HaMelech. David came and conquered finally the old city again. So it was a long time period, hundreds and hundreds of years before the first temple. And his son, he was never one to build it. He put the plans down for the first temple, David HaMelech. But Shlomo HaMelech, Solomon, he was the one who built the temple. And I gave you a timeline. You can see on the timeline the exact dates. But the point is that we want to get the facts. That Solomon, when he built this temple lasted for more than 500 years. And that was centralized the whole Jewish people. With a kingdom, with a palace, everything. David HaMelech had made peace in the land, and Shlomo now lived. His name is Shalom, his name is peace, in Yerushalayim on a beautiful throne with a beautiful palace.
This is his palace, right? Where
it was.
Mosque, yeah.
Yeah, where it was. No, it's not here. There's no remnant of it, but other than the walls underneath. But
I thought that was a remnant of something. What is it?
That's all. These are all from previous empires of way after this. This was
it's not Jewish. Okay. Yeah. What about this? Was this another mosque? Look at this.
This is another mosque. This is their main. This is the mosque they actually use more on a daily basis.
The Ottomans use this?
No, the Muslims now. There's the Muslim people who are coming.
Who built these two mosques?
They're all from from old empires. From the
this is before Ottoman.
Yeah, but they've been redone and there's no other religion who had the chutzpah to come build on such a place. So, we're not angry at them, but this is what they did. Anyway, so this over there is the famous graveyard where the Or HaChaim, who we saw his shul before, is buried, and other people. They did try to mow down all the graves, but when they got to Or HaChaim, the tractors fell over.
Which building?
His is all the way on
top with the arches?
No, down in the middle somewhere around there. You'd have to go up there to see it for yourself. And it's called the Mount of Olives.
Oh, this is Har Zayit.
Yeah, Mount of Olives, Har Zayit.
Nice.
So this is all now the temple grounds. This was 400 years of beautiful temple, a bit more than 400, and then it was destroyed by the Babylonians, and the Jews went into exile for 70 years, and we had the famous story of Purim. Then there was another temple built.
Famous story of what?
Purim, Megillah. Then, which is coming up soon in a few weeks, so we're looking forward to Purim. Then in 400 years after that, we had the second temple, which was built by Ezra and Nehemiah, and that was rebuilt again during the time of Hanukkah story, which is in the middle of that time period. And then the Romans came after 200 years and destroyed and mowed this whole place down. Now miraculously there's still the Western Wall, and that's where we're going to go right now. And that special foundation stone, which we said is where the first man was formed, is on that mountain now, behind the wall, which we can't act. The first man of creation, and the first woman was formed from
That's Gan Eden?
That not Gan Eden. That was where the stone was taken to the ground, the upper, the ground was taken to form the first man. Because God wanted man to have a connection to the world, not just be a spiritual being. He wanted us to have a connection, so we were taken from the holiest place in the world, the foundation of the world. Like they call it the Big Bang Theory. There was like a small spot, and the whole world came out from it. This is where it came out from. So this place is the foundation of the world. And we can't go there yet because we need to have a temple again, and we need to purify this whole area. But until then, the best we can do is go to the Western Wall, and that's the closest we can get to the holiest place on earth for the Jewish people and for the whole world. And that's why everyone in the world does usually pay credence to it. So let's go down there and daven mincha.
All right, and here you can see a little better. Those trees were a little bit blocking it. Look at this.
So now we can say Kaddish there for your father and for
Yes.
your ancestors, and we have to thank Hashem, you know, that we're able to enter this holy place in one piece. A lot of history has gone on here. A lot of history has gone on. We have to feel it a little bit. What's happened for us to make it to this place? It's not a big picture. It's not just whatever. We made it to such a place. It has significance.